miss this quest? Wow, I can't believe I missed that. How did I miss that? Interesting.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
Ugh, laggy. What's with the lag, man? What's with the lag, bro? What's up, Salmon? How's it going? Happy Friday. Letta.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed. kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed. You can kiss your ass goodbye. You were screwed.
No mana. Where the hell's my friends list? Blah, 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 blah. Do something really quick. is this? Oh, garbage. Garbage. People sending me crap messages. I need to focus on leveling, not people's bizarre messages. Gotta level. Hey, what's up, Sam? How's it going? The priest leveling continues. Doesn't really get anything much more chill than priest leveling. It's very chill. Lots of wanding. Okay, we can throw in a few star shards while we're at it. Oh, let me check my microphone. Yeah, that's good. It is good. It is good. Good. Shayalud. Muad'Dib. It is a good. Good. It is good. You gotta keep yourself entertained when you're leveling in Vanilla WoW, man. Oh, parkour fail! Okay, parkour. 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 I did. In the original World of Warcraft back in 2004, the second character I ever created was a priest. The first character I ever created was a druid called One with Nature, without the E on the end because that's 12 characters. And I always, you know, what was funny? My initial reaction of the druid was pretty much spot on. I think I feel like it was like I thought druid was really good at everything, but not great at anything. You know, I rolled a druid like 20, and I was like, I just felt like I was like, man, I'm good, but I'm not great. So then I rolled. Actually, I don't think priest was my second. I take that back. I think it might have been hunter was my second character I created, and then I leveled that character to like maybe 10 or something. But at some point, I created priest, and yeah, One with Nature. That was the name. I got a screenshot of it still. You want to see? Would you like to see a screenshot of my original characters from World of Warcraft? Let's see. I always play Night Elf. Yeah, I love Night Elves. I love Shadow Meld. I just love the way they move. I love the flipping. You know, I can't help it, man. I love when I jump, I flip, and all that shit. But let's see. Alright, this is an original character loading screen from 2000. This is from 2005, right? You can tell just how old it is just by the fact that look how small the image is. Because back when WoW first came out, the resolution was 640 by 480. So this This is actually a 640 by 4080 screenshot. But you can see here, this was what my character loading screen looked like. I can't believe I still have the screenshots from back then. And these were and the other thing that was interesting is these were, I think they were Targa. I think WoW originally created screenshots in the TGA format, I believe. But you can see there's my first character I ever created in World of Warcraft right there, One with Nature. And then my Hunter, I think, was the next. I don't remember the order. I mean, the Hunter might not have been the next, but you can see I leveled a Hunter to 55, and then I started playing Priest, and of course, the same name. I've used the same name for Priest, Faith Driven. Of course, I've always tried to create a Priest with the name Faith, but it's always taken. So, Faith Driven, she's driven by her faith, obviously. I've used that name for Priest ever since. And like this character that I'm playing right now, her name is Faith Driven, right? So I've used the same name for 20 whatever years. Of course, True Faith, always a decent name. But yeah, and Kanan Arshel was my son. My son's character. My son at the time was, he was like 5 years old, 6 years old maybe. So that was his character. And then Arcane Power is just a stupid name. Yeah, I came up for a mage. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. That's that goes way back. Original loading screen from 2005, and of course I've got other screenshots. Yeah, look how small. This was my arena team. I think this was, I believe this was Cataclysm. Yeah, this was Cataclysm, pretty sure. I believe. I was running. You can see here my S-Key Gladiators. We were 2K rated. I was only 19. This was one of my favorite screenshots in Arena, though, because I was playing with this mage Magic Muffin, who was really good. Like, this guy was insanely good. And we went 12-0. We actually went. This doesn't show it, but we actually played 15 games and we only lost 1. And because we were winning so many games in a row, our competition, the way it works in Arena, is that your competition keeps getting more difficult. It just keeps pushing you into a higher bracket. Even though like our team rating was only 2,000, we were actually playing teams that were like 2,300 and 2,400 rated, and we were beating them too. We were beating them, which was awesome. So that was actually really cool. That was back in the day. These are original screenshots from Vanilla WoW. You can see this was a common bug that existed in Vanilla World of Warcraft, where you would land at like a flight path and there'd be all these griffins kind of stacked on each other. This was actually really common to see in the original Vanilla game. Here I am in Montcor. Here we all turned into bats. I don't know. Here's another common bug you'd see in Vanilla, and that's where for some reason your bow would end up looking like, if you were dual wielding like swords or something, like I'm playing a hunter. If you were dual wielding weapons, sometimes the weapon would get glitched with your bow, so that it looked like your weapon was your bow when you were doing melee. That was another pretty common bug in Vanilla. Here's a later screenshot. This screenshot was taken, I think this was in TBC, or it might have been, this one might have been taken right before TBC came out, but I think this was taken during TBC. Yeah, but it might not have been. It might have been right before TBC. So right before TBC, I had a 60 hunter, 60 warrior, and I was actually leveling up. I think I had multiple warriors. So here's level 40, because this warrior, because back in the day, you didn't have dual spec or anything. So like, leveling was a lot slower than it is. People didn't really figure out leveling. Like, you're so new to the game that when you leveled a character, you didn't know like the optimal way to level. You didn't know all the quests. You didn't know all that stuff. It wasn't leveling in WoW back in the original game in 2004 was a lot different than it is today. So if you were going to level a character, right, like if you wanted to play like a Fury Warrior and you had like a Protection Warrior at level 60, a lot of times people would create another warrior because they didn't want to change. It was too expensive to respec, and that's another thing, is people didn't know how to make money back then. Like having like maybe 20, 30, 40 gold was considered a lot of gold back in 2004. Right, whereas today that's nothing, right? so yeah, you'll see here. I've got 2 warriors. Eventually, I end up with 2 hunters and 2 druids, I think, on this particular account. But anyways, this was This was probably right before TBC or right after TBC started. This was funny because back, seeing double blue drops was really unusual. I mean, well, it was kind of cool. Again, you can see this was really old screenshot because it's 640 by 40 resolution. I can just tell by the size of the image. This is, again, very old. This was my Fury Warrior. I'm really surprised there was a damage meter back then, but I guess net damage, I don't know which damage meter that is. I didn't even know there was a damage meter back then. So this could have been TBC. This was probably TBC. This is probably like right after TBC came out. This is me playing around with my Fury Warrior wearing a dress for some reason. I don't know why. This is the first time I ever tanked Ragnaros. And I did it on a protection warrior. Again, another screenshot. This was my priest. Now this is the robes from, I believe, Scolomonts. When Scolomonts drops that set gear. And also you'll notice that this was pretty late in vanilla because you can see that my wrist and my belt are the tier 0.5, but they're upgraded. They're the recolor upgrade from doing the quest line. And this is TBC. Those are TBC. This is me and my brother. Yeah. Those are TBC. This is original vanilla. TBC. This was me solo taming a warg to get bite rank 8. The highest rank of bite for your hunter in vanilla comes from a warg in Lower Blackrock Spire. So this is me actually going into the dungeon by myself and slipping past all the mobs and actually killing some elites and then taming the warg. Pretty hard to do solo back in the day, like maybe easier today because today people have buffs and all kinds of things, but back in 2004 something like this was actually pretty hard to do. So you can see I had a lot of potions and stuff to try to help me, and of course back then that was a lot. Back today that would be nothing. Would be considered nothing. So yeah, I've got all kinds of screenshots. I got Cataclysm screenshots, Burning Crusade screenshots. I got some private server screenshots. Here's let's see. I've got a screenshot. Here it is, right here. This is the first Christmas that ever happened in World of Warcraft. So I took this screenshot because it was so cool, like throwing snowballs. So this is the very first time in WoW that snowballs even existed, right? So this would have been December of 2004, right? You can see how small the image is. And also keep in mind, this is actually probably the oldest screenshot I have. Because if you looked at the other screenshots I had, they were like, my hunter was like 55. I'm looking at my hunter here, and I don't think just based on her gear, I think she's in her like 20s or 30s because I can tell by her gear. Like she's probably like mid 20s here. And these shoulders are like level 22 shoulders if I remember correctly. So this is probably the oldest screenshot I have because my hunter was in her mid 20s, which was my highest level character at the time in 2004. So this would have been December 2004. Remember, WoW came out in like late 2004, right? Wasn't it like November? So this is a really old screenshot. Let's see. Vanilla WoW release date. Yeah, so WoW was released on November 23rd, 2004. So this would have been just like 1 month after WoW was released. So that is by far my oldest screenshot.
Vishnu allow. Good luck.
Your first ever tomb was a dwarf hunter. I think a lot of people created the dwarf hunter because of the cinematic, the last cinematic. They saw that dwarf hunter with the you know what I mean, with the gun and the bear, and they're like, man, that looks cool, which totally agree. I think that's also one of the reasons, might be one of the reasons why, well, it is. One of the reasons why the first character ever created was a druid was probably because of the original vanilla cinematic, you know, seeing the druid go through the forest and shapeshift. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to turn into a panther, you know? I'm debating on whether I should try to sell this in the auction house. Might actually 20 silver. Yeah. Definitely sell that on the auction house. Ah, I knew I had some more bags. Oops, hit the wrong button.
Great to meet you.
Well met. How are you?
seek you out, flay you alive. One more word and you won't survive. And I'm not scared of your stolen power. See right through you anyhow. I won't soothe your pain. I won't ease your strain. You'll be waiting in vain. I got nothing for you to gain. I'm taking it slow, feeding my flame, shoveling the cards of your game, and just in time, in the right place, suddenly I will play my ace. I will soothe your pain. I won't ease your strain. You'll be waiting in vain. I got nothing for you to gain. Eyes on fire, your spine is so blaze, feeling any forward my gaze, and just in time, in the right place, steadily emerging with grace. Failing any forward my gaze. Steadily emerging with grace. Failing any forward my gaze. Steadily emerging with grace.
Take the time to make some sense of what you want to say, and cast your words away upon the waves. Sail them home with acquiesce on a ship of hope today. And as they land upon the shore, tell them not to fear no more. Say it loud and sing it proud today. And then dance if you wanna dance. Please, brother, take a chance. You know they're gonna go which way they wanna go.
All we know is that we don't know how it's gonna be. Please, brother, take it. Won't make you understand.
We're all part of a master plan. Say it loud and sing it proud today. I'm not saying right is wrong. It's up to us to make the best of all the things that come our way. 'Cause everything that's been has passed. The answer's in the looking glass. There's 420 million doors. All night's endless corridor. Say it loud and sing it proud, and then we'll
Dance if you wanna. Please, brother, take a chance. You know they're gonna go which way they wanna go.
know is that we don't
No.
how it's gonna be. Please, brother, let it be. Life on the other hand
Won't make us understand.
we're all
Part of the master plan. Back door! Back door! This is a better version of that song. Hold on a second.
Get on with it. Come on. Get the Thank you very much. Respect.
Respect.
This is called the master plan. So you can dance if you want to dance.
Guild Wars 2 UI to make the game look like Guild Wars 2.
Take the time to make some sense of what you want to say. Cast your words away upon the wave. Sail them home with acquiesce on a ship of hope today. And as they land upon the shore, tell them not to fear no more. Say it loud.
It is.
Say it proud today.
There you go. Guild Wars 2 UI. It is Oasis, yeah. Wasn't sure if I liked the live version better or not. I don't think I. Let's see. I think the recorded version's a little bit. They're both good. It was funny when Oasis first came out. I didn't like them at all because they were kind of bitchy little Brit bastards, to be honest. But then, as I don't know what year that would have been. As I got more and more into, because I played guitar for a very long time, and as I got more and more into kind of like songwriting and playing guitar and stuff, I started to realize how how good of a songwriter that Noel was. I mean, his brother's Liam's a total cock, but Noel's a really good songwriter. So I started to appreciate Oasis a lot more because of that, because of his songwriting ability. But let me go back to shit. Let me. I'm just adding some songs to the playlist. Give me a second here. That's always good. Actually, no, we could probably just play this playlist that I already have here. Move.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find a better place to play? You said that you'd never be.
Yeah, it is a good album.
All the things that you've seen slowly fade away. So I start a revolution from my bed. 'Cause you said the brains I had went to my head. Step outside, summertime's in bloom. I stand up beside the fireplace. Take that look from off your face. You ain't ever gonna burn my heart out. And so Sally can wait. She knows it's too late as we're walking on by. Her soul slides away, but don't look back in anger.
Yeah.
What you say? Take me to the place where you go, where nobody knows if it's not our day. Please don't put your life in the hands of a rock and roll band.
what's really good is the guitar tone. Like, you know, I've played guitar since I started playing guitar in '94, I think. And what I really like about Oasis, and I didn't like that. I just thought they were kind of whiny. I guess I never really liked Liam Gallagher's vocals that much. Um, but when you hear like this song, this is actually not Liam singing. This is Noel singing. And I like Noel's vocals way better than Liam's. But it's the guitar tone that they have that I like quite a bit. When you hear the guitar, so like little riff here, listen to this. Good guitar tone. You know when it's really good? Don't look back in anger, I heard you say. It's the outro. The outro in this song, I think, is the best tone they have. At least out of all the songs I've heard by them. Like, the outro of this song showcases really like Noel's like the guitar tone that he has that I like so much. Here's what I'm talking about. This outro right here.
I heard you say at least not today.
Actually, there's a guy that does a live cover that really nails the tone. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oasis. Check out this guy's cover. He does a great job. If I can find it. Actually, no, I know how to find it. Right here. Oh, which guy is it? Is it this guy? No, this guy does it good, but there's another guy that nails the tone better. Where is it? I should know when I recognize it. Or when I see it. Steven Seagal. God. I don't see it. What a bummer, because he really does a good job with it. Maybe it's how to play. It's all in how you search for it. Maybe it's this one. Nah, it's not that one. Oh, well, I'm going to give up. Pisses me off, though. Oh, well, screw it. Screw it!
I am honored.
Ooh, actually, this is a good item for us. Since we're main handing the mace here. That actually works out for us really nicely.
Illume be with you, goddess Wadrona. I'm listening.
Where's my cooking at? Huh, it's crappy is what it's at.
Be careful.
A good enchant.
What can I do for ya?
There we know that we don't want the fishing one. Plus 22 intellect. Plus 22 intellect. I find that, like, if you're going to level from level 1, and if you've got the money, and if you've got, like, higher level characters on the account, I think intellect is the best. Because the nice thing about intellect is, like, it gives you a huge mana pool. And so it gives you better crit rating as well. You know, intellect does give you crit. So it allows you to do more damage and have more mana, so you don't have to drink so much. So you could go with, like, spell power, but then it's not giving all that extra mana. So I definitely like intellect when I'm leveling. You know, I like intellect over spell power. Because it gives me the flexibility that I can heal dungeons, and I can also do damage. So you're repairing my gear; it's all fucked up.
How are you?
It is, yeah. Yep. I always put it on like a white item. That way I can just, you know, it doesn't go to waste. I can sell it on the auction house if I want, or I can just give it to another character if I want to level up like another character that could use that. You know, maybe a paladin or something. I don't know. Or even a mage. Well, mage can't use a mace. It'd have to be a paladin. You could have put it on a staff. The reason I went with the reason I go with the mace for the priest is because of the offhand. There's definitely some decent offhand items in the game. So you can see here, like, we're using the Tear of Grief, which gives us +5 intellect. So, you know, being able to have the main hand and the offhand, there's, you know, is a nice advantage, you know. But if I was gonna if I was gonna level like a mage or a warlock, and I knew I was gonna do that, I might have done it on like a staff, so I could pass that to my mage or warlock. But the thing is, if I was gonna do a mage or warlock, I'd go for spell power over intellect. So, although intellect's good too, but in the end, like, early level intellect's better, but as you get higher level, spell power is going to be better, because then once your mana pool isn't as big a problem, you know. But in the beginning, your mana sucks. You know, your mana pool is terrible. I see how you guys are.
I walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the earth beneath my feet. Sat by the river and it made me complete. Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. I came across a fallen tree. I felt the branches, are they looking at me? Is this the place we used to love? Is this the place that I've been dreaming of? Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. And if you have a minute, why don't we go talk about it somewhere only we know? This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go somewhere only we know? Somewhere only we know. A simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. So tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. And if you have a minute, why don't we go talk about it somewhere only we know? This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go? So why don't we go? This could be the end of everything. So why don't we go somewhere only we know? Somewhere only we know. So lately, been wondering who will be there to take my place when I'm gone. You'll need love to light the shadows on your face. If a great wave shall fall and fall upon us all, then between the sand and stone, could you make it on your own? If I could, then I would. I'll go wherever you will go. Way up high or down low. I'll go wherever
Oh shit, I forgot to buy a drink. I remembered to sell my milk when I hit 15s to get Moonberry to get the juice, but I forgot to buy the juice. Whoops.
through the darkest of your days. If a great wave shall fall.
Well, let's just finish this quest and then we'll turn it in.
If
Yeah, I do. You know, I'm old, dude. I grew up in the 80s, so you're gonna hear me play all kinds of shit. You're gonna hear me play all kinds of music. Let's just go get our moonberry juice. Maybe we can... Thanks, JP. The only bad part is, like, I do play a lot of music that demonetizes my streams or even blocks my stream, which kind of sucks, but oh well. I don't care. I don't stream to, like, I mean, it'd be nice to make money when I stream, but I don't make a lot of money when I stream because I do pretty much demonetize like 90% of my streams. Because I want to hear the music I want to hear while I'm playing, you know. My favorite zone, man. Darkshore is the most beautiful zone, in my opinion, in the game. I just think it looks freaking amazing. I mean, how can you, like, not think that... How can you not think this zone looks freaking phenomenal? Look at those beautiful trees in the background. Look at the night sky, the beautiful moon, the water, the beach, everything. Yeah, I don't like Cataclysm. I don't even play Cataclysm.
Can I assist you?
Alright, so what if we need to get our moonberry juice? And a lot of it. That should be enough for now. You know what? Let's get one more stack. Let's go kill these guys. I feel like killing. Let's go kill these guys. That's got a really annoying, long kind of ending, to be honest. That song kind of drags out more than it needs to. But this song, in my opinion, is the best. I think this is the best Oasis song that they did. I think Master Plans, in my opinion, is their best song. And I'm not even a big Oasis fan, but I appreciate well-written songs. Yeah, I mean, I like grunge. I mean, yeah, I mean, I grew up. Come on, I grew up in the '80s. I mean, my favorite band for a long time was the Smashing Pumpkins. That's pretty grungy. But I like all kinds of music. I mean, I'm a, you know, I grew up listening to punk really when I was. See, I was a freshman in high school in what, 84, 85. I think I was listening to like Dead Kennedys, Black Flag, but I was also listening to stuff like Depeche Mode and U2, and yeah, the Pumpkins are one of my all-time favorite bands. You know, I also like stuff like The Used. I like all kinds of music, man. I even like country, some country music I like too. You can thank my wife for that though. My wife got me into country. But again, I like music, I play guitar, and country's well written. I mean, some of the country singers and stuff are some of the best songwriters, you know. As far as like, you know, song composition and arrangement. I like Hardy actually. We talk about country music singers, I like Hardy. He's pretty cool. Oh yeah, I hated country for the longest time. But I appreciate the, you know, like I like let's see. I don't know if you know Hardy, but he's country, right? I mean, he's, let's see, you know, here you go.
So you think you've got some county line cred 'cause you rode a dirt road or two. You got a mossy oak hat on top of your head and a southern pride tattoo. Yeah, you might have drank a little grain alcohol or hauled a little hay. But if you think your boots got more dirt than mine, I got one thing to say. My town's smaller than your town, and I got a bigger bucket bass on my wall. I got a little more kick in my draw, y'all. I got a little more spit in my chaw. And my truck's louder than your truck, and my collar's a little more blue. You might think that you're redneck, but I'm rednecker than you. Yes, I am. I got a car parked in my front yard with a floorboard full of Slim Jims. I piss where I want to, and I fish where I swim. Yeah, I bet you ain't got it on a tailgate or killed a copperhead a time or two. And man, if you're thinking you're a better beer drinker, buddy, I've got news for you. My town's smaller than your town, and I got a bigger bucket bass on my wall.
I got bigger bass on my wall, baby.
More kick in my draw, y'all. I got a little more spit in my chaw. And my truck's louder than your truck, and my tick count's a little more blue. You might think that you're redneck, but I'm rednecker than you. I'm rednecker than you.
Yeah, but like I hated country for like the longest time, but it was my wife. my wife, she was like sneaky. Like when we met, like she likes lots of music like me, right? But when we met, she never would admit to like when we went out to the bars together or something, we were drinking. and I went to the jukebox and played music. She never was asking me to play country music, you know, because she knew I didn't like country music. And then after we got married, all of a sudden, I start hearing her play country music in the other room. I'm like, what's with this fucking country music? You know? So she was real sneaky about it. She didn't let me know that she really liked country music until we got married, and then it was too late for me to do anything about it. And now even worse, now she's actually got me listen to some of it. But I do like some country music. I also like let's see, what's his name? I actually like Granger, and Granger Smith's not really like, he's not super country at all, but like this song I like not this one. Actually I hated this song the first time I heard it. This one here I like though. Need to get back to town, turn my quests in. Let's, I guess, head north, knock out all the north quests. We'll come back and do the other ones later, and south.
Midnight Milky Way through a cracked windshield. The highway's never known how free this feels. I learned to drive out here. My grandpa let me steer. I still hear both hands on the wheel. Talk to God on 'em. We get lost on 'em. Find our way into a Rocky Mountain top on 'em. We get stuck on 'em. Fall in love on 'em. Rough around the edges just like us. That's why I love dirt roads. Make the world turn real slow. Feel the gravel letting go and stir it up my soul. That's why I love running wild through country miles.
But like that lyric right there is just so well written, you know? That's why I love Dirt Roads. Let's see if I can remember it here. Hold on a second. I love this lyric. It's so good. That's why I like running wild through country miles. I'm trying to remember the rest of it. Hold on a second. That's why I like running wild through country wilds. They're out of style, but every winding road will lead me home. That's just good. That's just good writing. You know what I mean? That's just good writing. You know, like I never liked country music growing up, but man, like you have to appreciate good songwriting. You know what I mean?
That's why I love dirt roads. Make the world turn real slow. Feel the gravel letting go and stir it up my soul. That's why I love running wild through country miles. They're out of style. They take a while, but every winding ride will lead me home.
They're out of style. They take a while, but every winding road will lead me home.
That's why I love dirt roads.
I mean, look at this. It's like you can't beat Darkshore. It's such a beautiful zone, man. Look at this shit. How do you beat that? It's like... Stars are piling, I feel you near me. And actually, there's more to this song, right? Than, like, if you hear that lyric there, there's a lot more to the song than what you realize. Like, listen to this lyric right here. So he says, out here in the quiet, I know you feel me, the stars are smiling, I feel you near me, right? He says, I know you're hearing me, the stars are smiling, I feel you near me. He's talking about his son. Like, Granger Smith's son drowned. Like, his son was 5 years old and he drowned in their pool. And this was just like a few years ago, like 5 years ago or something. And so he wrote that song, and that lyric in that song is about his son. It's about him sitting out in the woods by himself, thinking about, you know, his son and how he feels his son, you know, near him, you know, and that's, you know, that's terrible. I mean, can you imagine like having your 5-year-old son drown in your swimming pool? I mean, oh my God, that would have been like, holy shit. I think I probably would have, it would have been hard to go on with life, you know, because I have a son. My son's old though. I'm old, you know, my son's like, you know, what, 30, I guess he's like, oh my God, how old is he? He's not 30, I'm sorry. He's 27. But man, just you can't even imagine like being married, having a kid, and then he dies swimming in the pool. So that's what that part of that song, that lyric, that's what blah blah blah. That's what that's about, you know.
Yeah, out here in the quiet, I know you hear me. The stars are smiling, I feel you near me. Talk to God on 'em, we get lost on 'em. Find our way to a Rocky Mountain top on 'em. We get stuck on 'em.
And look at this zone.
On the edge just like us. That's why I love dirt roads. Make the world turn real slow. Feel the gravel letting go and stir it up my soul.
Yeah.
That's why I love running wild.
But like, I mean, when I think of like, I always say like for MMOs, like my favorite zones in MMOs are always forests, because to me, forests feel like fantasy. When you think of fantasy, right? When you think of fantasy books specifically, you think of like Lord of the Rings, right? Or if you think of like Terry Brooks or even Robert Jordan, The Wheel of Time, you think I made these really, really good fantasy novels. And I've read them all, right? Most of the best parts of fantasy books occur in the woods. They occur in forests. They occur in nature, right? Like Lord of the Rings, man, what are they doing so much in Lord of the Rings? They're running through Mirkwood, or they're running, through the woods trying to get to the village of Bree, or maybe they're, running through the, I can't remember what those other woods are called, where the, what's her name, the one elf queen, but you know what I mean? Like there's all of these kind of parts. And like, there's like, if you think of like the Terry Brooks novels, I'm a huge fan of Terry Brooks, right? The Sword of Shannara. You think about the Sword of Shannara, and I read those, like, the Sword of Shannara came out, I think 77, I think it was 77, somewhere in the 70s. I read the Sword of Shannara when I was like, I think I was probably read it in like 80, so I was like 10 years old. The book had only been out for like a few years, right? And but a lot of the best parts of that book occur in forests. So when I play MMOs and I'm in my favorite zones are always the woods. But when you look at like, to me, when you look at like Darkshore, I think this is one of, and what's funny is I hated the WoW graphics. When I first played World of Warcraft, my first MMO was Lineage 2. Coming from Lineage 2 at the time in 2000, Lineage 2 was like 2002 or 2003. Coming into WoW, the graphics looked really cartoony, and I really disliked them. But they've actually stood the test of time pretty well because they are cartoony. But when you look at them now, you're just like, shit, you're like, what the fuck? Like, these woods and stuff just look great, And because the woods, to me, are the closest thing to fantasy that, this shit, like, this is what makes me feel like I'm playing a fantasy MMO, is when I'm walking through this kind of environment. And I always look for that in new MMOs. When a new MMOs come out, I always look for, do they have really good layer design? Do they have really good forests? I think that's why, honestly, I think that's why Skyrim was so successful. Because if you look at Skyrim, not only is the level design really good, but a lot of Skyrim is forest and woodlands, lots of trees. And I think even though a lot of people probably don't realize it, deep down in your heart of hearts, man, it's the woods, baby. It's the woods that make you feel like you're in a fantasy environment. It just really is. And then you have to have the big cities. You have the woods, and then when you come out of those woods, because the woods should represent the danger of the world. Like, because when you go into the woods, you don't know what the fuck's going to be in there. It's bears, monsters. Maybe there's swamps inside the woods that have like some sort of crazy swamp hag. You don't know what's going on, man. Maybe there's some ghouls. Maybe, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of shit can happen once you get in the deep, dark woods. And so then when you survive all of that, and you come out of all of that, then you want to walk into that really cool village. Restock your gear, repair your gear, have a beer. To me, that's what an MMO should be about, That was a good little soapbox moment, wasn't it?
Midnight Milky Way through a cracked windshield. The highway's never known how to breathe this field.
I have a lot of passion for a lot of things, but MMOs is certainly one of those things.
I learned to drive out here.
My dad let me steer.
I still hear
Both hands on the wheel.
talk to God on 'em. We get lost on 'em. Find our way to a Rocky Mountain top on 'em. We get stuck on 'em. Fall in love on 'em. Rough around the edges just like us.
And that's why
Dirt roads make the world turn real slow.
country miles.
Chasing a painted sky and river winding curves. Can't help but feel like my heaven here on earth.
Alright, let's deal with this underwater shit.
Yeah, out here in the quiet, I know you hear me. The stars are
Smiling, I feel
near me. Talk to God on 'em, we get lost on 'em. Find our way to a Rocky Mountain top on 'em. We get stuck on 'em, fall in love on 'em.
I actually have, you know, Granger Smith's son died. He does a lot of good stuff. He actually quit being a country music singer and went towards God, and actually he's a minister now and goes around and kind of preaches and stuff. He's a really good guy, and but he puts out these T-shirts called "Live Like Riv," and it's all, you know, the money goes to, you know, different charities and stuff. For I'm not exactly sure which charities, but probably some of it does go to, you know, grief counseling or stuff to do with people who have lost someone. But I've actually got one of his shirts. You know, I bought one of those "Live Like Riv" shirts, and I don't know if I have it. Let's see if we can find it. He's got a couple different ones he's done. I've got the red one. Let's see. They just put a new one out pretty recently. Oh yeah, I don't even see the one I have. It's one of the first ones. Like, see here. Here's "Live Like Riv." Now see, there's two other kids that he has. Yeah, I don't even see it anymore. The one I have, I think, is the original, the first one they ever did.
Around the edges just like us.
Yeah.
That's why I love dirt roads. Make the world turn real slow. Feel the gravel letting go and stir it up my soul. That's why I love running wild through country miles. They're out of style, they take a while, but every winding ride lead me home. That's why I love dirt roads. That's why I love dirt roads. Sometimes they're beat up and broken, scattered and tossed in the breeze. But no matter their scars, it doesn't
Change what they are. That sounds a little like me.
And that's why I love dirt roads. And that's why I love dirt roads. That's why I love dirt roads. Make the
Let's kill some Murlocs.
feel the gravel letting go and stirring up my soul. That's why I love running wild through country miles. They're out of style, they take a while, but every winding ride will lead me home.
Yeah, Tears in the yeah. Yeah, I know that song.
We get lost on 'em, find our way to a Rocky Mountain top on 'em. We get stuck on 'em, fall in love on 'em, rough around the edges just like us. That's why I love dirt roads. Whoa, whoa. That's why I love dirt
Stuck in a little hole there.
roads. That's why I love dirt roads.
Okay, go aggro like 10,000 other Murlocs. Okay, or maybe one. No, actually, I didn't. I don't think. I think I might have known that at one point, but forgot, because that sound does sound familiar. But I always just, I do it I do it the way the quest was meant to be done. Just because, I don't know, I enjoy going in and doing it this way, I guess. I've done these quests. I swear I've done this quest probably 1,000 times. When you've played WoW since the beginning, 2004 beta, like I have, and you play mostly Night Elf, you've done this quest a few times. Holy shit, like way too many times, man. It's that we don't know. Oh, multiple mobs. All right. You came in just for TBC. I was on beta on Doomhammer back in, I think it was about 2 or 3 months before launch. I got invited to the beta. It's actually a pretty interesting story. So what happened was I was playing Lineage 2, and I was in the Lineage 2 Thai beta, Korean beta, US beta. I was in like 3 betas in Lineage 2 before Lineage 2 was released, and a friend of mine that I was played with, who I met playing the game, he was so helpful and so nice to other players. And this is back in the days when MMOs actually had GMs, right? This is back when MMOs had GMs, and he was so helpful in the game that he got recognized by one of the GMs in the game, right? And the GMs saw how he was interacting with other players and helping other players so much that they offered him a job at NCSoft being a game master, being a GM. And so he actually got hired by NCSoft. And so I don't know exactly remember when he got hired, but he got hired by NCSoft as a game master. And then I was playing Lineage 2, this is like months after the release of Lineage 2. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months after the release of Lineage 2. And he just messaged me one day and said, hey, he's like, dude, he's like, I just got into a beta of this game called World of Warcraft. And at the time, I'd never even heard of it, And this is back in the day when there wasn't a lot of, big internet and social media presence or anything like that, And he's like, yeah, I got in this beta World of Warcraft. He's like, dude, you got to try this out. This game's awesome. And so he got me. I don't know how he got into it. Probably through, working for NCSoft. I don't know, but he got invited to the beta. So he got me into the beta, and I got into the last beta, like literally like the last couple of weeks of the beta. I was in it, and so I only got to play like a little bit. But I mean, I was sold instantly. I mean, I think the big difference that made it so good was, Lineage 2 was click to move, but that was, back in 2003, MMOs were, they were a lot different than they are today. I mean, games in general too. Like a lot of games are click to move games, like a lot of games back in the day, like, Diablo and stuff, they were click to move. So playing a click to move didn't seem that unusual back then. And so WoW came out, and not only was it not click to move, but you could jump and do like a flip. And not only could you jump and do a flip, but you could cast a spell while you're jumping and doing a flip in midair like this, And that was just so like crazy amazing to someone coming from like Lineage 2, where you couldn't do any of that. And I remember I was playing a hunter, and Night Elf Hunter, and I jumped off a hill and I shot an arrow at some mob as I was falling through the air. And I was sold. That was it. That's all I needed to see of the game to know that I was like, okay, I'm done playing Lineage 2. And I love Lineage 2 because Lineage 2 was the first MMO I ever played, and I absolutely loved it. I was like, this game, it was a great game. Lineage 2, when it came out, was an amazing game. And it's sad that it's still out there and you can play it, but it's so completely overrun by bots that you just don't get any kind of a real experience for what the game was like, when it first came out. So but yeah, when I first played WoW, I didn't like the graphics. I thought they were way too cartoony. And it took me a while to where I felt like I actually liked the graphics. And of course, that was in the beginning when MMOs are still fairly new, and when I had never played that many MMOs. So now I understand, I think we all understand that, stylized graphics can hold up a little bit better over time. Something like Guild Wars 2, something like WoW, they can be out for years and years and still look relatively good. Whereas you put out a game, there is one exception to that rule though that I would like to say, But if you put out the game, some games, and the graphics look really like realistic, they can get dated very quickly. But I will say there's an exception to that one, is Black Desert. Because Black Desert came out and the graphics were really good, like amazing. And Black Desert still to this day is a beautiful, beautiful game. Like, it looks fantastic. So it kind of like didn't fall into that trap for whatever reason. Well, I was a founder in Black Desert. I played it on release, like day one, and I loved it. I thought Black Desert was an amazing game. I absolutely loved it. I was in a guild called Stormlords. The guild leader was an Australian guy, who didn't even have a job. This kid, all he did was bet on horse races, horse races and dog races, and that's how he made a living. And he was so good at it, he made a good living doing it. You know, he actually had a good living. And so he had plenty of time to play video games, because he would spend like 4 hours out of the day, like, you know, assessing the horse races he was going to bet on. And then he would bet on his horse races, and then he would just play video games the rest of the day. And that was his life. And I was like so jealous. I was like, holy shit. It's like, this needs to be my life, you know? It's just like... we got another one. Let's go ahead and reset these. I don't want to fight 3. I think we got this one already, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Ooh, we do need these guys, though, don't we? These guys are such a pain. Like, they have such high armor. You would think like the magic would rip them up, but it really doesn't. Yeah. This is my favorite album. I'm a huge Radiohead fan. Like, I'm a massive Radiohead fan. Like, massive. And this is by far, and it's not even close, my favorite Radiohead album is The Bends, man. It is such a good album. Yeah, I think Radiohead is one of the... I mean, I put Radiohead way up there as one of the greatest bands of all time. I mean, they're very high on my... They're very high on my list.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
This guy keeps running in front of me because he wants me to hit him with a stamina buff. Normally I would, but he's a warrior. I don't buff warriors. Because I just hate the fact that every little kid has to play a warrior because they're like the best melee class in vanilla. It's just like, you know, it's like everybody wants to play the overpowered class. So you lose a little bit of respect from me that you play like, you know, like I play melee hunter. So like I play hunter and I'm like 80-90% of my damage is melee damage. And I still out DPS most people in groups. And And I'll DPS warriors like very, very. In fact, I almost always out DPS warriors. We're talking like, you know, pre-raid. Like if you get into like Molten Core or something, obviously as a melee hunter, I couldn't do that, but
You were screwed.
because it just doesn't work very well. Because your pet's gonna die, and there's just a lot of reasons. But I can go through like Skolamons and, you know, Blackrock Depths and shit like that, and easily out DPS warriors, and laugh at them while I do it. Now we did buy this, but we didn't put it on our bar. Gotta love that. I remember one time I was in a bar and the bar played this song, or the bar was doing karaoke. You know, the bar was doing karaoke, and I used to sing karaoke quite a bit. And I sang this song karaoke, and I nailed the high note in the song. I mean, I nailed it. I wasn't sure if I could do it because I'd never sang karaoke on this song before. And when that part of the song came on, you know, and he screams it out, and I'll mention it to you when we get to it on that part of the song. I actually got a standing ovation from the entire bar. The entire bar gave me a standing ovation. But I think everybody in the bar was wasted, so I'm not really sure if it was that I was that good or just everybody was wasted.
You can kiss your ass.
I think it was a little bit of both. I think I was good and everybody was wasted. Wanna have control. I want a perfect body. Well, that too, yeah, that too.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Well, I think I was, you know, there was a time when Radiohead was a little bit,
You were screwed.
you know, bands come in and out of style a little bit. And there was definitely a time when this song was kind of overplayed, right? So people were just tired of hearing it because it was overplayed. And so like when I would go to bars and stuff, and especially when they were doing karaoke, you wouldn't really hear this song because it kind of had been overplayed, you know, years prior. So when I did it, it was a little bit of a, I think, you know, it wasn't one that you normally heard on the karaoke rotation. It was kind of like, you know, a throwback, like it was like a throwback Thursday, you know, type of moment, you know, and people like, oh yeah, this is a good song. I haven't heard this in a while. And then the fact that I did that, and then I nailed it. Also, it was really good. I was good at doing the White Stripes too. I don't know. Me and Jack White. I can definitely do the White Stripes. Oh, this guy's like way high level. What is he? 19. Ugh. These guys are gonna watch how hard it's gonna be for me to kill this level 19. He's gonna crush me. Look at that resist. I'm gonna renew because I know it's just he's gonna kill me. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a fear. He's gonna resist. Oh, he didn't resist. Ah, the beauty of the priest. Priest. What are we talking about? Priests. I don't want to say priests overpower, but they're sneaky strong, right? If played correctly, they are very strong. I mean, yeah, I mean, for me,
You can kiss your ass.
you know, like I use the Guild Wars 2 UI, which that's going to be a pretty big add-on for a lot of people who, you know, because it pretty much does, it replaces most of everything. You know, you look at my character window stuff. This is the Guild Wars 2 UI. You've got your reputation. You've got your talents in here. You've also got talent preview here. You've got, what's really nice is you've got your spells, but you can also see future spells. So I can see what spells I'm going to get at 16, 18, 20, and stuff like that. Here's your general spells. You got your skills here, right? Here's all your skills: tailoring, cooking, first aid, and then you got your PvP. And then I have the ranker add-on installed, which is just things that helps you look at how much honor you need to obtain each rank in PvP. So, but I mean, for me, like, I don't Like it depends. I mean, if you're going to be a healer, a lot of people would kind of say, "Oh, you need to have like heal bot or some sort of healing add-on." But I don't ever, and I've healed raids in original vanilla all the way through, Wrath of the Lich King. I've done raid healing, and I've never used add-ons for healing just because I feel like if you're, I just feel like if your macros are set up correctly and you know how to play, that you don't really need it. But some people might disagree with me on that. I just think if you're I can't really think, like, let me look at the add-ons that I have. I don't think there's any that are necessary, really, to be honest. I think Auctioneer is great, just to work the auction house. But as far as like the class itself, um, I would say Kui nameplates is fantastic as a nameplate add-on here, and I'll show you what that looks like. Kui is really good. I mean, for me, mixed scrolling battle text is pretty much a must. Most people, I mean, I know some people are familiar with it, but mixed scrolling battle text does a ton of stuff, right? So mixed scrolling battle text sets up my combat. You have all the stock standard stuff. I have all the stock standards, but so class. I mean, to me, like the priest doesn't really need super class specific stuff. Like for example, like if I play a paladin, a lot of people are going to want like pally power or something. What I use for paladin is something really simple. It's just called buff watch, and it just shows like I just can track which buffs I have on people in the party, and I can see when they fall off. It's just to help me like get my paladin blessings back up, because that's really important, obviously, as a paladin. But for a priest, I don't really have any priest specific ones. Like to me, weak auras are probably the most important thing for me on almost all my classes. Like you can see here, I've got a weak aura for my power word shield, and it shows how much damage it's going to absorb. You can see I use weak auras to track certain cooldowns, right? So like here, if I don't have my fortitude up, I've got a little icon editor that's bouncing up down, let me know, hey, your fortitude's gone, your fort buff's gone. Same thing with my my inner fire. It's showing me that inner fire is not currently up. So I would say weak auras is probably one of the most useful things you can use. And I use it for almost all my classes. Like all my classes have specific weak auras. Like if I go into weak auras, you can see, does it show me how many? But you can see I've got a lot of weak auras here, right? And I'm not like, but the only ones that are loaded for this class is the shield, inner fire, drink walk, which is this thing right here. That just enables me to time. I can actually drink and then start walking, and drink and start walking, and I can just time with the ticker here, like when I can stand up. It's a way to like kind of regenerate mana while you're moving through a dungeon. Like if you're like in between pulls in a dungeon, and people a lot of times get impatient, don't want to wait for you to drink. You can actually, if you have a lot of drink in your bag, you don't care about blowing through a lot of drink. You can kind of drink while you're moving, so to speak. It works. It's useful, but it's pretty niche. But I would just say, weak auras. I would say make sure that you're tracking your buffs. I mean, again, to me, like the most important thing is that you have like a UI add-on that allows you to track, what heals you have up on different people, what buffs you have up on different people. Like I'm not in a group, but if I was in a group, I could show you that. Let's see. Actually, I might be able to do it. See, I'm not in a group though. So I don't think there's any demo mode in, yeah, there's no demo mode in the Guild Wars 2 UI. I can't show you, I don't think I can show you this unless I'm in a raid. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think I can actually show it without being in a group, unfortunately. But yeah, just make sure that you can see the buffs you have on people. If I like here, you can see the buffs that are on this person. If I throw like a renew, you can see the renew on them. Obviously if I buff them, you want to be able to make sure that that stuff's just visible. I mean, so I don't really think you need a lot of stuff, but that's me. That's me. I've played the game for so long. I don't necessarily need a lot of add-ons, but I do use a lot of add-ons. But most of them aren't class specific. Weak Ore, as I said, is really good. Threat Classic 2 is really good. That shows your threat. That's actually really important. So I would say Threat Classic's a really good one to have. You tell your mate Nat to join. Oh, cool. But she can see chats that I can't see. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I would say Threat Classic's really good. People are typing too fast. Yeah, I don't know. I don't do much with the chat in there. It's just the basic. But yes, I would say threat class is really good. So because as a priest, when you're in dungeons and stuff, you definitely want to track. We want to be aware of your threat, how much threat you have. That's actually really useful. The base ones you probably already have, like Questy or something. I mean, Omni CC, just shows the cooldown numbers. So like if I cast Fear, you can see, you can turn on Blizzard's cooldown numbers because Blizzard has their own, but I like Omni's better, so I use Omni's. But if you go into options and go into like hotbars, action bars, you can see here there's show cooldown numbers. I just don't like Blizzard's font and stuff, so I like Omni CC better. But one of the biggest things for me, again, it's just hugely, hugely, hugely useful for me, especially when I'm playing hardcore WoW, but is MSBT. And MSBT is, MSBT shows my damage numbers. So like if I go up and I'm fighting something, right, like this is going to show my outgoing damage here. It's going to show incoming damage, to me here. So if I attack this fledgling here, you can see this is the damage I'm doing here. Like I'm like at my melee to my Shadow of Pain. And then over here, this is the damage he's doing to me, which right now he's not doing anything because I'm absorbing it with my shield. Right, and I'm not showing shield absorbs. Oh, I guess I am. There it is. So, but the good thing about what's really useful about this add-on, let me kill this guy really quick. I've tried playing without Questy, but the problem is I've played with it for so long that, and I don't. If you watch, I don't really use it that much. You know what I mean? Like I don't rely on Questy because I know the quest so well. But it's just it's like a crutch. It's just there if I need it. Like there's certain quests I'll do that I just don't always remember exactly maybe where it is on the map, and so Questy just helps kind of point me to where it is. That's all. Instead of like kind of meandering through the woods trying to find something, Questy just saves me a little bit of time. But in general, I know most of the quests in WoW, so I don't really need it. Yeah, but the thing with mixed rolling battle text is you can set up triggers, right? So this is the real strength of it, is the triggers. So like in here, like for example, if I'm like on my hunter, my melee hunter, and I've got Crusader enchanted on my weapons, if I proc heroism, right, it's gonna play an audio alert. It's going to play this sound, and I can put in any sound I want that coming out of my sound folder, right? So it's going to play this, but it also shows a message on the screen. So it's certain things that I definitely want to track. Like, default ones are going to be like low mana. Like if I get low mana on this character, you're going to hear, that sound. But I could change it if I wanted to. I mean, I could make it something else, we could change it to something else. So I leave that to default. But, and also like when I play hardcore WoW, it's mandatory that I have this because I want my low health warning. And this is actually my low pet health. So like when I'm playing, when I'm playing on my hunter, like I have, obviously I have a low pet health, which is, again, you don't understand how like useful these things are, because with low health warnings for my pet, for me, I don't ever have to look at my health. Like when I'm playing my hunter, or I'm playing almost any character in WoW, you never really see me ever look at my health bars. So, and if you're not looking at your bars to check your health, then you're looking at what's going on the screen, so you don't have to worry about that stuff, and you don't want to have to worry about what your health is or what your mana is, and I can set up more, I can set up more warnings if I want. Like you don't see it on here, I don't think, but like when I'm playing hardcore WoW, I actually have 3 health warnings. I have 1 health warning that I set up in hardcore WoW that goes off when I'm around 58% health, or I think 55% health. Then I have another one that goes off when I'm around like 45% health. Then another one that goes off at 35% health. And that way, like I always know what my health is like when I'm playing hardcore WoW, because of those 3 different warnings go off at different times. I've got like here, the blood is the life, all hope is lost. I have different ones. Like this one I use for like when my paladin loses like one of his buffs, it says on the screen, all hope is lost. I think this might be my mana one, or my blessing of wisdom. So if we go into here, is it blessing of wisdom conditions, right? It's aura removal and blessing of wisdom. So when blessing of wisdom drops off my paladin, I'm going to hear this sound. And so again, I don't really always have to look down at my bar to say, oh, when's Blessing of Wisdom going to drop off? I mean, I'll get an audio sound that plays when it drops off. And a lot of times I'll look just because I may want to preemptively like put my Blessing of Wisdom up before it drops off, but I don't have to. I also have one with when Thorns, like when Thorns disappears, you know, and you know, it'll say Thorns gone. It's not super necessary, but you know, I use these for all kinds of stuff, you know. Here's one called You Got Me So Thorny. This I don't remember what this one's for. We'll see what this one's for. This is when I'm using the Epic Shield, the green tower. When it'll proc thorns that like wrap around you, and when enemies hit you, they take damage. So I actually called the text that comes up on the screen when that procs. It actually says, "You got me so thorny." Yeah, there's all kinds. Clear casting, you know, you can track your clear casting. If you're a warrior, execute, you know, and execute procs, you know. I don't have a sound for that because I don't really need to hear that, but because, you know, it's something you hear all the time. But, you know, that's MSBT. So, but again, it's the triggers that make MSBT so powerful. But it does all other things as well, right? How do you play Burning Crusade when it's Cataclysm now? Well, you would have had to have played Burning Crusade, and then when it went to Cataclysm, I think I don't think you can play. I don't think you can play Burning Crusade. I mean, you can, right? You still can play Burning Crusade if the server is well, no, I guess you can't because Cataclysm changed all the quests. You're right. You're right. You have to go to a private server. There's private servers out there that are running Burning Crusade. If you want to, I'm not sure why you need to, unless you're trying to test out some sort of builds. But there's plenty of like private servers out there that are Burning Crusade. I mean, you know, you can go to here, best TBC private servers. There's one guy that I like for private servers. It's this guy here, Metrics. So here, why there are only 5 good WoW private servers.
The servers worth playing, I can probably name them on the palm of my one hand. Ascension, turn into it.
So, but he's going to sit here and say, what's the best TBC private server?
Knowing that the realm's gonna die. Okay, maybe you can have fun for a couple weeks or maybe months. But that's really not what I like. And there's only those couple servers that I mentioned that have some longevity. And that's why I keep making new videos.
I mean, really, Warmane's been up for a long time. Ascension, I wouldn't... Ascension, Turtle WoW, I wouldn't really... You know, whatever. They're both good servers, but if you're playing, I think Firestorm also. I think Firestorm has a pretty decent Burning Crusade. WoW private. If you go to Firestorm, I'm pretty sure they have a decent TBC, I believe. It's been a while since I've been on here. They don't have a server listing. Firestorm. Okay. Ice Crown, obviously TBC, Deathwing. This is Cataclysm. I don't know what that is. I'm just looking at the icons to try to figure stuff out. This must be Mr. Pandaria. Greymane. Maybe that's Legion. What's this one? Kind of sucks that they're just showing them by icon. And then, of course, Warmane. If you go to Warmane, they've got their servers. Let's see the information. And yeah, they've got a Burning Crusade server, and you can see they've got Onyxia and Blackrock. And it looks like... I was hoping we could get some numbers. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to play TBC, that's what you'd have to do, though. You'd have to go to like a private server, right? Yeah, the threat meter I think is pretty useful. I think it's good when you're doing dungeons and stuff. I mean, some of them, you know, like the Warmane's going to be, they're not going to be super active. Again, you know, you have to realize too. I mean, some of them are going to be a little bit more active right now, just simply because people are testing out TBC shit, right? Like some people are going to go test TBC out. Like we could set it up. Like I mean, it wouldn't take long. Let's see. Here, I don't think I have my Warmane client anymore. Let's see. I used to have I used to have about 6 or 7 different private servers set up, but I think I've uninstalled most of them. I've got Turtle WoW, Reborn. I don't know what Reborn is, but it's probably some sort of version of World of Warcraft. What is Reborn? Oh, I think Reborn's like Ion. I think that's Ion. I play a lot of different private servers. I just haven't played it too many lately. Yeah, World of Warcraft. Nova. That's another, I think, Ion or Terra. Terra. Ion. Yeah, let's see. Let's go, let's go back to that YouTube video again real quick, because Metrics is good. Metrics. The War Within expansion is coming to Firestorm. WoW Addicts, Legion private server, Stormforge. Turtle WoW, Cataclysm. List of the best World of Warcraft private servers. This is from a month ago.
This is the World of Warcraft private server tier list, where I rank all my favorite World of Warcraft private servers that I've played. These are already out. Legion server. It is a solid pick and definitely choose from. Right in the B tier. Warmain, as you know, I'm a big Warmain fan. I know it has many issues. You can write them all in the comments. But every time I play on the Warmain, I'm the kind of player that doesn't really suffer of the issues that are present on Warmain. You want to play to win? I will not. About 5 months. One of my favorites. I've been playing on it a lot.
Warmain.
Wow, that I've heard a lot about throughout the years, but never really found it extremely popular, especially on the Wrath of the Lich King.
No, I want to see his. Let's just do a search for best burning crusade. And then we're just going to sort by this month. Okay, how about this year? Meta Goblin, 9 months ago. I'm not a fan of Meta Goblin, by the way. Oh, man. Reddit users, Netherwing, good population. Chromicap, fuck no, I don't want to play Chromicap. So Netherwing, let's try Netherwing. Let's see who does Netherwing. Or Stormforge, yeah. I think I played this one. So Stormforge, Netherwing returns. What's the date on this? That was 2 years ago. But I know that Stormforge is definitely running their servers. Let's see. Let's go create account. I'm sure I've already got account. Netherwing. And then they get, yeah, so this one. We'll download this and we can set it up, right? It won't take that long. Is Turtle WoW good? Turtle WoW, the problem with Turtle WoW is it's on the 1.12 client. I played Turtle WoW for about 5 or 6 years. I mean, I played Turtle WoW in the very beginning when it was still really, really new and there's only like maybe 100 people playing. In fact, I played really, really early where one of the main devs on the project was always messaging me and trying to get me to stream it just to get more like notice for the game, you know. And Turtle WoW's great. I mean, Turtle WoW's done some really great things. Like some of the zone, like the custom, like Classic Plus style content they've added to the game is absolutely top notch. The problem with Turtle WoW for me is that the client is kind of laggy and it's not very smooth. And a lot of that's just because it is the 1.12 client, you know. But specifically their client, I feel like it just runs a little bit more sluggish than other. Like for example, if I go play on what's that other private server? If I go to Twinstar, right? Twinstar, wow. If I go to Twinstar, wow, and we go to like one of the Apollo, like, let's see, Twinstar, Chronos, for example, Chronos. Chronos is one of the private servers that's been around like a really long time for vanilla. If I play Chronos, which is a 1.12 client, it runs way better than Turtle WoW. So my biggest complaint with Turtle WoW is just it's just a little clunky, you know. But if you're not picky, because I'm a very picky person, and I've also played the 1.14 client now for so long, the classic client that came out in 2019. I played it for so long that I'm so used to how smooth this client runs and how well it runs, and you know the macros and stuff too are completely different in the 1.12 client. You know, when you're doing stuff like, here, let's see if I've got it. When we're doing, let's see if I've got. I don't know if I have any. These are all like 1.14 macros. When you're doing like macros in 1.12, it's a lot more difficult. It's a lot more things. You have to install super macro to increase like the size of your macros that you can do, and it's just more difficult. So if you're not used to that, and of course if you don't use a lot of macros, that's not a problem. But if you're someone like me who does use quite a few macros, it can be a little annoying. But one dungeon per day, I'm not. I don't think so. I don't think there's a limit on the amount of times you can run dungeons in Turtle, but honestly, I'm not sure. But I kind of doubt there is. I mean, I think I have Turtle. Let's see. I'm pretty sure we have. Well, I know I have Turtle. Let's see. Turtle WoW. Oh, maybe it's not installed. Oh, new launcher version available. Please update to the latest launcher version. Okay, well, whatever. But their new launcher for Turtle WoW is quite a bit better than what they had originally. But anyways, we don't need to run that right now. But yeah, I just, you know, to me, it just depends on how finicky you are with the client. How, you know, if you're really used to the 1.14 client, the classic 2019 client, then you may struggle with Turtle WoW a little bit because it is that 1.12 client. There are some lag spikes and stuff, you know, and that's my only complaint with it. I think Turtle WoW would be way better if they would have, if they would, and I think they are in the process of trying to upgrade it to, oh, it's still downloading. I think they're in the process of doing their Turtle WoW 2 or whatever, where they're going to, I think, go to a different client. So but yeah, if you want to play Burning Crusade, I would recommend probably something like Netherwing here on the Stormforge. You know, go to how to play, create an account, download it, boom, start playing. You know, there are people playing it. It's pretty cool, you know. There's that high note. See, I'm using falsetto, but when I hit it at the bar, it was my real voice. It wasn't falsetto.
Whatever you want. So fucking special. I wish I was special.
Yeah, I love hardcore WoW, dude. But I've played hardcore WoW a long time, like a real, you know, I've leveled like 3 warriors to 60, couple hunters to 60 in hardcore WoW. I think I've leveled 3 hunters to 60 in hardcore WoW. I've done 2 warriors to 60, like 3 hunters to 60, and I think I did a priest to 60. But I've done a lot of hardcore WoW. The only reason, I mean, here's the thing. I would be playing hardcore WoW now if you know, hardcore was progressing from vanilla into TBC, but it's not. And which is a huge screw up on Blizzard's part, in my opinion. That's a big fuck up. I don't really understand why they did that. Like, there's a lot of people that want to play Burning Crusade hardcore WoW. I mean, why wouldn't you? It'd be amazing. So I really don't get that. And people want to progress. If everybody knows that the Anniversary Realms, the regular non-hardcore, are progressing to TBC and then probably Wrath of Lich King, why would they want to progress? Because you always feel like the way WoW players are stupid. I mean, WoW players are really dumb because they follow the herd like sheep. Like if a few people go to TBC, then everybody else freaks out and think, oh my god, they're going to TBC. I better go to TBC. You know, I got to play TBC or I'm going to miss out. The FOMO with MMO players is like crazy, right? And so the fact that the hardcore WoW servers don't have TPC, they don't progress in TPC, that means everybody's leaving it, you know? It does get repetitive, but what else is there? I've played every MMO there is. The problem is it's hard to find any MMO that's as fun as this, so. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not saying the FOMO makes sense. I mean, it totally makes sense because you want to play where people are. Like, there's nothing worse than playing on an MMO that feels dead. So that's why people do what they do. But the really bad part with MMOs is once a server starts to lose people, people panic. Like if you have a server that has like, let's say it has 4,000 people regularly, which is a good amount of people, right? You gotta keep in mind the original vanilla servers were set up to handle about 2,000 to 3,000 connections, and that's about it. That's what they were designed. Like when you look at Vanilla WoW, the world of Vanilla WoW was designed to handle about 2,500 players. That's enough to where the people kind of spread out. There's enough people in the zones aren't too crowded. If you've ever played on like, you know, like if you've ever played on Astalrius or Elysium private servers, when you like I played on Light's Hope private server when it was launched, and there was like, you know, 10,000 people on the server. 10,000 people. Actually, that's not true. I played on Light's Hope when there was 14,000 people. 14,000 people. You know, WoW servers are not meant to handle that many players, right? Let's see.
Okay.
This was the launch on Light's Hope Northdale server. And my UI was so screwed up because I forgot to disable my add-ons when I created my character. And once I got in, I was way too afraid to log out because I figured I'd never get back in if I logged out. So I just played with it. My UI screwed up.
Totally messed up, but we are in the server.
I mean, you can see there's a lot of people in this server.
It's really crowded. It's super crowded.
But what's really fun, and what's really funny though, is when have you ever played on a Blizzard run server that could handle 14,000 connections? This server had 14,000 people, and it actually ran pretty good. I mean, it was laggy as all hell, but it ran good. Like you weren't like crashing or anything. Everything was fairly smooth, other than the fact that there was a delay, you know. So anyway, whatever. I'm getting sidetracked, but these guys are 7. Yeah, what level am I? 15. Yeah, we can take them. But yeah, the FOMO makes sense for sure. People don't want to play on a server that's dead or dying. The sad part is though, is what I was trying to say is if you have a server that has like 4,000 people, and if people can see how many people are on the server, if it starts to drop off, people panic. Like let's say I'm on a server and the first week it's 4,000 people and the second week it's 3,000 people. People are going to straight up panic. Oh my God, we lost 1,000 people in a week, which I can understand why you would panic. That's a huge drop. You know what I mean? No, I think Turtle WoW is a great. Don't get me wrong. Turtle WoW is a great server. I've played on Turtle WoW. I've got lots of characters in Turtle WoW. It's a fantastic server. I just am so used to the 1.14 client that it's very difficult for me personally to play there because I get frustrated. I get frustrated that it's not as smooth. So that's just me. Some people, a lot of people that doesn't matter. A lot of people it doesn't bother them because they're not as finicky or picky as I am. I'm a picky little bastard. So, it doesn't bother a lot of people. So, which is fine. Or if people haven't played WoW as long as I have, or played the 1.14 as long as I have, then they don't really notice it as much. So, yeah, the High Elves are fantastic. In fact, the lore behind the High Elves is really good. How they've set up different little areas in Stormwind for the High Elves is really good. The High Elf lore is really good. If you want to play Turtle WoW, I would recommend playing the High Elves if you're going to play Alliance. They're really cool. Also, my favorite zone in all of Turtle WoW is this zone here in right here near the Undercity. Right, they've created an entirely new zone. I'll show you here in a second. Die, damn you! Oh shit, it's really getting late, guys. I can't play it whole much. I didn't realize it was so late. I have to work I have to work
You
today.
can kiss your ass goodbye.
This is NightSlayer, PvP server. But yeah, what I was gonna say is Turtle Wow has this zone that they created, brand new zone. This is what I think Turtle Wow does best for private servers. Is they do a great job of creating new content within the world of vanilla. So like this in vanilla, this is an empty area. There's nothing here, right here. But on Turtle Wow, they've basically created a path where you can go from here, which this is just blocked off in regular vanilla. You can't get through here. But in Turtle Wow, you can. You can go through here, and there's this amazing zone over here. It's so cool. It's really hilly, and there's all different types of mobs, from like gnolls to like undead. There's even like a little town on the coast here that you can walk down this really cool slope to get to. There's a little cool graveyard that overlooks the water. I mean, it's just absolutely outstanding. It's fantastic. And to me, that's what Classic Plus should be about. Classic Plus should be about adding new content that fits the same feel and the vibe and kind of what vanilla felt like, but do it within the constraints of the world that already exists. Don't add new continents or anything like that. Just go into the zones that already exist and say, hey, where can we add some stuff? Like, oh, maybe here's some area here that's just mountains. We can maybe carve that out and put something there. Or what's another one here? Like you can see here, there's some mountains that aren't being utilized. Here, there's some area that isn't being utilized. Here, there's all of this area that isn't being utilized. If you look at Ironforge, where's Ironforge? If you look at Ironforge, this area is not being utilized, but on Turtle Wow, I think it is. And there's there's some mountains here and here. Some of these areas you can carve out some of these regions. I mean, like Cold Rock Valley. I mean, you could probably carve out some stuff over here, put new content. There's lots of areas on the map in vanilla where you can easily add more stuff. So, and that's what Turtle Wow's done. Ah, shit. Alright, we're gonna have to run. This is what I get for talking in chat too much. Letting mobs respawn all around me. To get myself killed. I do not like to die. I've played too much hardcore WoW. I don't like to die. But this is a PvP server, so I will die at some point. Somebody's gonna gank me. Some high-level character is definitely gonna gank me at some point. Turtle Wow is not based on... No, Turtle Wow is regular... As far as I know, Turtle Wow... I never remember Turtle Wow being anything other than just regular vanilla WoW. Like, timeline-wise.
You can kiss your ass goodbye. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know if this is really gonna work. What kind of healing
You can
pushes do I
kiss
have?
your ass goodbye.
You were screwed.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Okay. Yeah,
You were
okay.
screwed.
I guess we can do it. These guys are hitting hard, though. Ah, crap. You know what? We're going to do this quest some other time, because it's just going to take me too long to go through these guys. I am originally from Illinois in the United States. I lived in Chicago for a long time after college, and unfortunately now I live in Florida, because that's where my wife's from. Don't really like Florida, but that's where we are right now. In fact, I wanted to move to Tennessee, but my wife's parents are here in Florida, and we just bought a house. We just bought a house, like literally like just last week. And so yeah, we're stuck in Florida for the time being. What's left to do with my life? It's just hot. I'm from Illinois, so I like the seasons. I like having a winter. I like having like snow. I like seeing fall. Florida doesn't have any of that. There's not really any season change that much. Summers last too long. Yeah, the hurricanes have been a bitch the last few years. Like they've been really bad actually. I'd rather have cold weather than hot weather. You can always put more clothes on. You can't, once you're naked, you can't take anything else off, man. Yeah. Oh, you're in Alabama, huh? It is 5:28 a.m. here. I love Sweden, man. I love Sweden.
You can kiss your ass.
11:28. Go. I have my wife's parents they have distant relations with some Swedish people, and we've been invited to come and stay in Sweden, which I really want to go. I haven't been to Sweden, but I definitely want to go to Sweden. I love Swedes, man. Nice people. Just like Australians, man. I would buy myself a great guitar and play. Yeah, definitely. No big spiders? Yeah, I don't like spiders. I don't like speeders. I don't like speeders. Why do MMOs always have speeders in every zone? I don't like speeders. Lonely. I wanna be alive. Ah, everybody. Big stars. Yeah, we got lots of crocodiles and snakes. Snakes don't bother me. Crocodiles can be a little scary. If they're hungry, or if they have their young around them, they can be pretty dangerous. Just like any animal, really. You're on Dream Scythe? Yeah, I was playing on Dream Scythe, but just too many people I know are playing here, and I just thought this would be better for stream. For more people would prefer to watch be on a PvP server than a PvE server. So. Television won't see me staring right back at me. A big thing. Yeah.
You turn my guitar on.
Can you turn my guitar on? Alright, there we go.
And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I could taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. And sooner or later it's over. I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming, all the moment of truth in your lies. When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am.
I want him to get a disease on me because I need to test out my macro. I don't think it's working right. Here, let me just. Yeah, come on, dude. Put a disease on me. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, my macro's not working, which is weird. I wonder if I'm... Yeah, it's not working. The only way it wouldn't work is if there's already a keybind for shift mouse wheel down in use, which I don't see one. Ah. Bingo. There we go. Macro fixed. All right. So you were like enjoying the playlist, but now we're going to bring out really old stuff, going back to my time. Now we're going back to when I was in high school. What time is it? Oh shit! I can play for a little bit longer, but then I gotta get to bed. I gotta work today for a little bit, and then me and my wife are going furniture shopping for the new house. And I'm a young 55, my friend. But like my wife says, I'm just a big kid, though. And I am. I'm completely immature. In certain ways. I'm a big kid. I like to play games. I like to play my guitar. Okay, we did that. What haven't we completed? We still need the Moonstalker things. They're kind of a pain in the ass to get. Actually, they're easier if we just go to the other side over here. Searching for a little tenderness. This song was in the movie Weird Science. If you haven't seen the movie Weird Science, go watch it. Because, you know, it's one of those epic movies from the 80s. Yeah, let's see if we can find it real quick. This is what it played in the movie. I think so. This is near the end of the movie.
All right.
Classic 80s movies. He pulls up in his little Ferrari. His little Ferrari quadrivalve. I think it was a quadrivalve. Alright, let's zoom the camera out here. We gotta spot some, there we go. Need to get some Moonstalkers. I always forget how easy this is to do for a hunter because you can just turn on tracking. Not as easy for other classes. Plus, I run the game pretty dark too, so. This is what WoW normally looks like, which I can't even believe that this is what WoW looks like normally. Like, it just blows my mind that this is what WoW looks like without my filters. Oh man. Might run into Shadow Claw over here if we're not careful.
What can I do for you?
Oh, also another add-on, move anything, man. Move any. Like, so you can move all your windows. Like, oh my god, like I can't live without that either. Right? So that is what's this one right here? Move any. You gotta have that add-on. Yeah, you gotta have that.
You gotta say
I see my cloak. No rank 1.
Just suspect my emotion wandering, yeah. Not want to part this anymore. The rainwater drips to where I can see. I'll have to spend my time on repair. Just like the rain will be always falling, yeah. Only to rise and fall again.
Oh, parkour fail!
If you were here, I could deceive you. If you were here, you would believe.
Alright, I gotta go to bed. Yeah, I'm out.
Would you suspect my emotion?
Yeah, I gotta go too. It's almost 6 a.m. so I'm gonna try to get like 3 hours of sleep before I have to work. It's Saturday here, but I told my boss I was gonna work some this morning, so I gotta work. But and then I gotta go shopping with the wife. We're gonna go look for some furniture for the new house. Hope you guys have a good day wherever you are. It's cool to see people from Sweden, from all over the world. Love it. And sorry I didn't have the best advice for add-ons for priests. I just don't. I think for me, like for when you think of like a priest and add-ons, a lot of people use like healing add-ons, but I don't really use healing add-ons. To me, the most important thing is your macros. Like if you're healing as a priest, you know, it's really how your macros are set up. So, like if you look at my macro for my heals, it's really specific, right? I'm gonna go up to like for example, like my lesser heal here. So I've got cast mod shift player, lesser heal. I've got cast at mouse over if target exists, right? Help meaning friendly player. And then if no target exists, it's just gonna heal it. It's gonna heal myself. So but here's what it means is if I have a target and I cast this spell, it's gonna heal him. If I have no target and I cast the spell, it's gonna heal me. If I have a mouse over target and cast a spell, it's gonna heal them. Right, my mouse over. And if I have someone targeted like this, and let's say it's a tank in a dungeon, and I'm healing the tank, but I want to heal myself, but I don't want to lose target on the tank, I've got a lot of different options. One, I could just mouse over heal myself, like this, right? Actually, that doesn't work. The mouse over is not going to trump target, right? See that? It'll always heal the target. So what I do if I want to heal myself but not lose my target on the tank, I just hold down the shift key. So I can heal myself without losing target. I can mouse over heal. So to me, that's, you know, with my macros set up this way, it's super easy. It works for PvP too. Like when I really want to heal like someone in PvP, I just mouse over them. Especially for like renew and stuff, you know, mouse over renew this person, mouse over renew this person. It's really easy. You know, to me, macros are more important than like add-ons for healing. As long as you have the correct macros, and as long as you have your party frames organized close to you where you can see what's going on, and as long as those party frames are showing the right buffs and debuffs on the enemies and the friendly targets, then you really don't need an add-on, a healing add-on. Some people like to use healing add-ons to set specific spells, like say, oh, if I hit the key 4, it's going to cast this spell. If I hit key 3, it's going to cast this spell. That way they can just mouse over and hit certain buttons, but it's like, really, that's not any different than just having it on your bar, right? Like, if I hit 4, it's a heal. If I hit 3, it's lesser heal, right? You know? So it's really not that different. But there are some advantages, I'm sure, to healing add-ons, but I just, personally, I've never needed them, and I've always been one of the best healers in my raid whenever I heal, so it's not you know, so you can definitely get away with not having to have that. So don't let add-ons become a crutch is what I'm trying to say. But I'll catch you guys later, man. Peace out.